Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. This is you know what I want to do here. I want to do an extra for American Horror Story. Um, this was actually the fifth episode, so this is actually just going to be an extra. This is actually all in reference to the background story of Liz Taylor, because and this is just my view. So let's just I'm going to tell you what my view is of what I actually got from her background story, and then some of what I'm actually hearing, because I watch a lot of other people's reviews too. Like I know Cemented actually does reviews on American Horror Story. Much Love and KY does reviews on American Horror Story. Um, Ashley, and I haven't actually seen Ashley's this week, but Ashley Miller does a good review on American Horror Story as well. And I always really enjoyed hers, and to see what their take is, because it's the thing with American Horror Story is so complex that all of us can watch it and all of us will pick up something different. And then when that's why I watch all the reviews, and then when we get together, you get a fuller understanding of what it is, because it may be something that you didn't see, or you didn't see it that way. So it's always, and I watch my people anyway, but with this story, it's always interesting. Um, who else does it? Alexander Rogers actually does it too, and I know D Mist. He actually is a fan of American Horror Story. Oh, and absolutely Lady Nika. Lady Nika loves American Horror Story. But anyway, so let's go on. This is just an extra. I already did my review, so my review's out there. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check that out. Um, and just some of the comments that I've gotten thus far this week from my people, and also some of the stuff that I've found in other people's reviews that I have actually seen. So this is just my take on Liz Taylor. So real fast, I'm gonna run through her background. Um, Liz Taylor, he was just a regular man, and his story set in 1984. He's a regular man. He was a pilot. He worked for airlines. He was a pilot. So naturally, he goes city to city. He checked into the Cortez. Um, it was actually, what he would do, he had this regular white picket fence life. But he had a secret, an inside secret. He is a cross dresser. Okay. He was a cross dresser. He felt comfortable in women's clothing. Now, keep in mind, the whole time you're watching this story, there was no sex involved with this at all. It had nothing to do with homosexual sex at all. They said nothing about sex. There was no man. He was not cheating on his wife. There was nothing sexual at all. The whole thing, he was a cross dresser. Okay, not even so much as a drag, because I always refer to him as bald head drag queen. He wasn't really a drag queen. He was a cross dresser. He didn't know about makeup and all this stuff, because I'm a drag queen. I am a professional female impersonator, so I do the whole makeup and the wig and the gowns and everything. Got to be this way, that way, and I'm all for stage. Is my thing. That wasn't him. He was a man who liked wearing women's clothes. That's all they focused on. That's all they were focusing on. So in the comments, I was seeing people saying he was a tranny, and I'm like, this had nothing to do with transsexualism at all. There was nothing about a change of gender or anything like that. So I don't know where people were getting this tranny thing. I'm like, nobody said nothing about a tranny. That's a whole different thing altogether. You know, and it wasn't even a thing that he wanted to be a woman. That wasn't it. I mean, surely the man, he's a pilot. He made enough money to actually go through a transition. And the story set in 1984. So he could have actually flew to Mexico and maybe got the operation done and been done. He could have been a woman. That's not an issue. None of that stuff was being highlighted. He was a man who enjoyed wearing women's clothing. And it was a secret. That's a cross dresser. That's not a drag queen. That's not a transsexual. That's not even a homosexual. That is a cross-dresser, and most cross-dressers identify with being heterosexual. So anyway, he's at the Cortez. He ends up, he what he would do is he would go there and he would put his little shit on and be in the room and just enjoy himself being in the room. That's what I'm saying. There was never nobody came into the room and had sex, or there was no hookups, no nothing like that. He's just literally in his glory, in there in his little white slip and his pumps, baby, and getting his life. So Gaga, the Countess, actually comes into the room, and him and her have this exchange, and he immediately, well, of course, he wants to know how she got in there, but that's again American Horror Story shit. And the conversation they had, he immediately begun to lie to her and try to, this is to go into the sea. No, this is really not me. It's not what you think it is. This, that, thing, and the other. And she's saying, honey, stop. You don't have to lie to me. You don't have to lie to me, baby, because I see you. I see you. And what she said to him very clearly, I seen you when you came in. You look like a man. You walk like a man, but you smell like a woman. Okay? So his whole thing, it is a little deeper than, the whole cross-dressing thing. Her whole point, as far as I was concerned, was when she said he smells like a woman, she could smell it in his blood. It was kind of that a woman trapped in a male body kind of thing. So it kind of was leaning toward the whole, it was really self-identity. It was self-identity. But again, we didn't go so far. It hadn't taken on a sexual anything. And I think later on in the story, it actually will, because I think once he got comfortable with all of that, then maybe it did start taking on a sexual thing. But I'm talking about the background story that they gave us. There was nothing sexual there. But anyway, like I said, she said she could smell it in him, that there was a woman trapped inside. And remember, that's what she started telling him, he was a goddess, and all of this kind of carrying on. And then the whole thing, as they kept talking, because he cried and he said how he thought he was ugly and all of this kind of carrying on, and he was, all of that. And through talking to her, you seen all of that angst and all of that come up off of him. And then he was literally being comfortable with himself. All of that self-doubt and that feeling ugly, and there were self-esteem issues that were there. You could see those things being lifted. And that whole thing, you could see all of this being lifted, and there was self-hate as well. You could see all of those things being lifted. Okay, as he was talking to Gaga, he was becoming more and more comfortable with himself, which was her whole point. Now, let's talk about the vampire part of it. Okay, let's talk about the vampire part of it. Liz Taylor is not a vampire. Liz Taylor is a regular human. And if you know anything about vampires don't ever want everybody around them to be vampires, because remember, they sleep during the day. They need a sense of protection. Now, this is a new age vampire where they all are day walkers, so they can walk in the day but choose not to. But original vampires always needed somebody human around to be able to protect them when they are in their sleep, because there are vampires that are evil, that are against them, that will risk their own life to take them out. So there's generally, if you ever really pay attention to vampire stories you watch, like True Blood, there's always humans around, because it's a sense of protection, and it's always about loyalty and that thing. That's the other thing about the turning. Liz Taylor never got turned. Gaga, Countess, never turned Liz Taylor. And she made that very clear when she was talking to Irish. She said, no, I was never turned. I'm not a vampire. I work for her. So again, I've been watching vampire stuff for a very long time. I'm a True Blood fan. I get into all that. Twilight, all that shit. I like that shit. But anyway, vampires generally turn people for one of three reasons. It's about loyalty, love or lust, when they're looking for a companion, and um, some of them have morality, some morality still left in them, and they turn people for compassion reasons. That's the only three times. There's very rarely, they don't sit around and just make vampires to be making vampires. They don't do that. They don't do that. Because again, the more vampires there are, that's more competition. And vampires are very competitive with each other. And they do very much turn on each other a lot of times. So that's it. Compassion, loyalty, and uh, companionship. So they'll do that. Because a lot of times you'll find, like Interview with the Vampire. They'll take a child. Remember the little girl? They took a child. She had the bubonic plague. They turned her because they felt sorry for her. They felt sorry for her. And that was another thing. Lestat actually turned her to give her to Louis. One, to make Louis happy, and two, so Louis would forgive him for some things. But it was a whole thing of compassion. They saved her. They saved her from what was actually going on. And once you get turned, it makes you into the best self that you ever would have been. It amplifies all your good stuff. So that was a whole thing of compassion. That's why she was turned. He turned Louis because he was attracted to Louis. He wanted Louis to be his companion. That's why he turned Louis. But no, vampires don't just turn you just to be turning you. They generally kill you. That's what they do. They kill people if they drink their blood. It's not about turning them into vampires, So generally, humans are a life source. They're a food source for them. So that's the whole thing. And then, sometimes they'll do it just to have some minions. So they will every now and again turn somebody to just so they have them loyal to them. But usually that's not the way it goes. It's generally a child or a person that's younger than them that they feel sorry for. So it's more or less a compassion thing. But that's kind of why they turn people. With Gaga, because I'm jumping back and forth, but I hope y'all are following me here. With Gaga and Liz Taylor, there was a compassion situation there and also loyalty. Gaga knew she could read it right away. Once she went through all of this business with Liz Taylor, there was no need to turn Liz Taylor. She wasn't attracted to him. Because he wasn't, he's not attracted to her, and he was a fucked up, he wasn't cute. So there was no attraction. She liked pretty men. There was no attraction to him. She felt sorry for him because he was wallowing in self-hate. And she also saw the beautiful inner spirit that he actually had. She knew if she could free that inner spirit in him, he was going to always be loyal to her. And that's exactly what it is. He is a human. He is forever grateful to her for freeing him from his demons. And he's actually forever loyal to her. He's been with her, it looks like at this point, going on damn near 30-something years. And so you see he's still aging and everything like that. Now, at some point, she may turn him so he'll stop aging. You know what I mean? But it wasn't about that. There was never any reason to turn Liz Taylor because Liz Taylor got what you get whenever you get turned anyway. And there was no need. It was freed. She got freed from her inner demons. She got freed from what was, holding her down in her human life. There was no need to turn her. And that's why she's not turned. And look at her. She is what? The front desk. She's the first line of defense. She's the first line of defense. She is just like she's Countess's right hand for the most part. She does the cleanup. She makes sure Countess gets what she needs. Like she had the special valves of the blood. She is forever loyal to Countess. Like she said, I work for her. And she's not going anywhere. She never left the hotel. She never left. And she, the door is wide open. She never left. She stayed there, sent money to the wife for the kids as long as the kids were young and all that. Never left. She's forever grateful to her, forever loyal to her. There was no reason to turn her. And that's why, in my opinion, this is all my opinion. And I definitely want to hear what you all have to say, if you agree or if you want to add something or you think I'm off on something. I definitely want to talk about that. That's what made me do this extra video. on the subject. But yeah, there's no need to turn Liz Taylor. Liz Taylor got everything she needed, and Gaga got everything out of Liz Taylor that she needed. She needed a loyal right hand person, and that's what she has in Liz Taylor. Liz Taylor basically runs that hotel. She runs that hotel. She knows the ins, the outs, and everything. She knows the background. She knows everything that there is to know about Countess and running the Cortez. So this is my did I cover everything? Because I wrote a couple notes here. Yeah, that's it. This was that's what I got from the background story of Liz Taylor, and I thought it was good. I love how it was written, and it really was kind of deep. And then there's other ones. I may do more of these extras on some of the other character roles, but I seen so much. It seemed like confusion. That was more so in my comments when people start talking about trannies and this, that, and the other. I'm like, child, there's some confusion about, because there's always confusion about the gay life and how it actually works anyway. People like to throw that stuff out there about trannies, and the life of a transsexual and the whole need of a gender reassignment. Honey, I could do 22 video. It is very much deeper than the surface. It's not about just, oh, I want to be a woman. That is really not even scratching the surface of the whole thing about transsexualism. So some confusion with that in real life is where I think some of the craziness in the comments was. But anyway, so this is just my take on what it was. Again, all those people that I stated about who do American Horror Story reviews, definitely go and look at their reviews. I watch their reviews every week as well. I enjoy seeing where they stand and what they got out of it, and as compared to what I got, and then to see the build on what I have going on. But I enjoy, I love this show. But that's it. And again, this was just an extra shit. It didn't turn out to be as long as one of my reviews, but I'm over 17 minutes here. But I've said what I think this was interesting. As far as I'm concerned, I hope it was interesting to you too, guys. I'm going to log it as one of my November, my nonstop November videos as well. But this is going to go right in with my playlist with my American Horror Story. This is American Horror Story Hotel Extra. We're just looking at my girl Liz Taylor, bald-headed drag queens. Oh yeah, and that was the other thing. That's how she got rid of the ugly, because Gaga showed her about makeup and giving herself a smoky eye, and she cut that fucking hair off. When she bitch was bald on top of it. She straightened her up. She gave her everything she needed without turning her, and that's why she's not turning. But anyway, so that's that. Leave in the comments. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you think, what you agree with, what you don't agree with, and give me your spin. Give me your spin on it and why you feel that way. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You know how that works. Love you guys, and I will actually talk to you all later on. All right, guys. Bye.